and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like. Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. Or you can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call.
Hello.
Or you can come in and see us face to face. Or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. You can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. You can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. You can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. You can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you gotta go back more than 75 years when we first started right here in northern Iowa. Fast forward to today, and we've got 10 locations across North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We've got all the perks of a big bank, but we're still right here when you need us most. We still pick up the phone when you call. Hello. You can come in and see us face to face, or chat us up online anytime. However you like to bank, we've got you covered. So where will you go with MBT? Who is MBT Bank? To answer that, you
School volleyball on Mix 107.3 with Sarah Nagastal.
Thanks, John. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forest City High School as we get set for volleyball action for the first time this season in the Top of Iowa Conference between the Forest City Indians and the Eagle Grove Eagles. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forest City High School home game for the Indians to start off the season. They're going to take on the Eagle Grove Eagles this evening. We're set for a 7 o'clock start. Our pregame show today brought to you by Kingland Construction Services of Forest City. Now has truck customization and Western snow plows through KCS Customs Division. Accessorize your vehicle by calling KCS Customs today at 641-585-0101. Again, 641-585-0101. And we'll have the pregame show for you in 30 seconds.
Kingland Construction Services is a proud supporter of trades-based education programs like apprenticeships, the Building Trades Academy at the John V. Hansen Career Center, and internships through NIAC. These programs also have debt-free options available. Find out more by calling Kingland Construction Services at 641-585-0101.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Sarah Nagastal with you as we get set for Eagle Grove and Forest City. And let's jump right into tonight's matchup. Forest City Indians, first game of the season for Forest City. Eagle Grove, on the other hand, they've already played a game. Lacey Jerome, 13th year with the Indians. It's over 290 career wins. Indians ranked 13th in the IGHSAU rankings this year. Finished 20-12 last year, lost to Union in the regional semifinals. 5 seniors that will lead the way for Forest City on this team. Talked with them. You can find that full story right now online at KIOW.com. I talked with them on Wednesday here at practice, and all of them said kind of the same thing. It just kind of, all 5 of them really close, have been for a long time, almost like a sisterhood. This entire team is like that. Coach Jerome was talking to me about that. Again, the Indians not played a game so far this year. They finished 7-1, second place in the TIC a year ago. Eagle Grove, on the other hand, they've already got a game in the books, played Southeast Valley. As they took on Southeast Valley earlier this week, they lost in that contest 3-0, 25-9, 25-14, 25-12 were the finals in that one. Elliot Saigala, he's in the first year with Eagle Grove this year. They were 3-17 a year ago, 2-7 in the TIC. They also lost to Union in the first round of the postseason. So Union defeated Eagle Grove and then defeated Forest City after that in the postseason a year ago. Players to watch, some of the returners for Eagle Grove. Addie Jeske, she's back on this on this team and will be back in action again tonight. She had a couple of aces, couple of kills in the third set against Southeast Valley a couple of nights ago. Madison Kaiser, Kelly and Chloe Style, also some players to watch there for the Eagle Grove Eagles. Take a look at this matchup all time between Forest City and Eagle Grove. These two teams have been playing since 2014 consistently. Talking about conference-wise, when these two teams joined up in a conference, Forest City won a year ago in 2022, 3-0 the final score in that one, 25-21, 25-12, 25-8. Though some momentum for Eagle Grove. They scored 21 in a set against Forest City last year, something they hadn't done in a few years. But unfortunately, Eagle Grove, they have been unable to win a set from Forest City since 2014. The Indians 27-0 when it comes to set matches against Eagle Grove in that time. Again, 2014 through 2023. Eagle Grove last year, 2021, scored 21 points in the first set against Forest City. That's one of the keys for the Indians, trying to get out on top right away. A Forest City team that has got some, we mentioned, got some experience back. A lot of pieces from last year's team back. Only a couple of regular pieces from last year's team lost to graduation, but Forest City brings some pieces back. So does Eagle Grove, though. We talked about Jeske and Kaiser and Style and all them. A team that was able to get 4 aces per set last year, 88% serving efficiency. Scored about 16 kills and about 12 assists per set last year, did the Eagle Grove Eagles. We'll take a break. Our pregame show today brought to you by Kingland Construction Service of Forest City. We'll take our first break here in the pregame show. We'll come back. Forest City and Eagle Grove getting set for the opening night of high school volleyball here on KIOW. We'll have it all for you throughout the season. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 3 minutes. You're listening and watching to Forest City Indian Volleyball on KIOW.
WCTA is committed to providing local phone service, high-speed internet, and the most reliable digital TV. They proudly support local schools, events, and charities. Their employees are your friends and neighbors who live and work in your community. WCTA is your local telecommunications cooperative.
Kingland Construction Services is a proud supporter of trades-based education programs like apprenticeships, the Building Trades Academy at the John V. Hansen Career Center, and internships through NIAC. These programs also have debt-free options available. Find out more by calling Kingland Construction Services at 641-585-0101.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to shove these $20 bills down the drain. Ah, there we go.
Having an old water softener is like shoving money down the drain. But a new Culligan softener can save money and a ton of salt. Culligan, better water, pure and simple.
Forest City Family Dentistry, downtown on J Street. Dr. Layla can now place crowns in one visit. No clumsy temporary or return appointment needed. Also ask us about replacing missing teeth with affordable dental implants. Visit the place that puts a smile on your face. Forest City Family Dentistry. Call 585-4636.
MBT Bank, based in Forest City, has 10 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota to serve your banking needs. MBT Bank offers the latest in banking technology paired with a local community connection. Find out all that MBT Bank has to offer by visiting us online at www.mbtbank.bank. Member FDIC.
The Farmers Co-op of Forest City, Leyland of Buffalo Center, Iowa, and Keystone, Minnesota for all your feed, seed, fertilizer, chemical, and fuel needs See the Farmers Co-op, serving the area since 1916. Good luck to area athletes from the Farmers Co-op Association.
Waldorf University in Forest City. With scholarships available up to full tuition, athletics, fine arts, and over 35 clubs and organizations, you'll have the opportunity to find your passion while getting a world-class education. On campus or online, find support from a community that makes you feel at home. Find out more today at waldorf.edu.
Advanced Door Systems of Forest City. Advanced Door Systems is your Raynor and CHI overhead door dealer. They also service any make or model of overhead door. Call 641-585-1900 to see them online at ads-doors.com. Advanced Door Systems, the right door, the right way.
The Super Bowl at Forest City is open nightly for league and open bowling, with Cosmic Bowling Friday and Saturday nights, with karaoke Saturday nights as well. Enjoy food from the grill or delicious Bucchese pizza to complete your experience. The Super Bowl, Highway 9 East, Forest City.
Larson Plumbing Heating of Fertile is your Lennox dealer. They offer energy-efficient Lennox heating and air conditioning solutions for homes and businesses of all sizes. For complete plumbing service, call 797-2219 today. Larson Plumbing Heating of Fertile, your Lennox dealer.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Video stream up and rolling if you'd like to check that out. Thanks to all of our great sponsors that allow us to be able to do that home and away for you throughout the season. I know volleyball, we got a few matches for you. A lot of the volleyball season we've talked about before is played on the weekends in the tournament, but we do get about close to 10 matches per year here on KIOW. Some years a little bit, 7, 8 matches, depends on if we run into a school that doesn't allow us to video stream or not, but I'll get to about 10 of them on the radio for you throughout the year. Some changes you're going to see here in high school volleyball if you've been watching warm-ups and trying to figure out where Eagle Grove is right now, or didn't see Forest City when Eagle Grove was on the court a moment ago. Well, new this year when the team is warming up, when whatever team has the full court at the time can't be doing that the pepper or any kind of warming up on the court. Team has to be off the court, so just one team on the court throughout that time. So you don't see Eagle Grove out and around right now. They're out in the hallway or whatever they're doing, as Forest City was a moment ago. Also, if you look close enough, if you're watching us on the video stream, if you're listening to us on the radio, we appreciate you as well, but we'll try to describe it for you. But our referees this evening are actually got intercoms on. They've got little headsets on so they can communicate with each other. One little two-way communications there between the two officials. Therefore, if they have maybe want to talk about a rule or want to see what each other had, they don't have to walk across the court and use up time that way. So the two officials have little walkie communications in their ears, and they are able to talk with each other across the court and say, hey, what'd you have there, or what'd you see about this one, and maybe speed things up on that way a little bit. So got a couple of good officials with us this evening. We'll talk about those guys here in just a moment. We did mention that Forest City in the Class 3A rankings to start the season. And if you're watching us with a video stream, you'll be able to see it right now. We've got the rankings up in Class 3A, preseason rankings. Forest City 13th there towards the bottom, 20-12 a year ago. Esterville Lincoln Central and Roland Story behind the Indians at 14 and 15. 12 is Wahlert Catholic, Mid Prairie 11, Red Oak at 10, 9 is Solon, West Delaware, West Liberty, Mount Vernon, Cherokee Union, who defeated Forest City in the regional semifinal a year ago. They're at the number 4 spot. Davenport Assumption 3, Western Christian 2, and Des Moines Christian is the number 1 team in Class 3A. They are the team to beat this year. 46-6 for Des Moines Christian a year ago. Got some pretty good athletes around there. Have had some transfers from some of those bigger schools within Des Moines the last few years, and have really put some good games, good teams together there at Des Moines Christian. Of course, the powerhouse in Western Iowa volleyball, Western Christian, kind of bouncing back around between 3A and 2A. They're in 3A this year. They're ranked number 2. Were upset in the state championship game a year ago. All right, we're going to take another break. We will come back in 1 minute for starting lineups between Forest City and Eagle Grove right after this.
Missile Insurance and Realty of Forest City. Whether buying or selling a home, Tim Missile and Pat Lovick have the market experience to help you follow your dream. Missile Insurance and Realty can help you insure that dream once you find it. Missile Insurance and Realty in Forest City. Call 641-582-3554.
Holland Contracting in Forest City for earth moving, Varco Prudent metal buildings, farm drainage, directional drilling, demolition, tire shop, and more. Call the construction experts at 641-585-2231. Holland Contracting in Forest City, dedicated to making the region a better place, one project at a time. Shooter's Sports Bar and Grill supports Forest City High School athletics. In a hurry for lunch? No time to cook before the game? Call 585-5000 to place your order for pickup. Shooters will be happy to get your order ready in advance. Shooter's Sports Bar and Grill supports the Forest City Indians.
Welcome back here to Forest City High School. Jumping into our starting lineups. First of all, for Eagle Grove, number 1 is Kennedy Thacker. She is a junior. Number 23 is Addison Jeske. She is also a junior. Number 4 is a senior. That's Celeste Figueroa. In the number 6, wearing number 6 tonight is a junior, Teresa Middleton. Wearing number 2 is Jocelyn Gonzalez. She's a junior. And the libero for the Eagle Grove Eagles, she's a senior. Wears number 18, Noelle Kovacs. Again, we mentioned first-year head coach is Elliot Saigala for the 0-1 Eagle Grove Eagles. For Forest City, starting lineups for 13th-year head coach Lacey Jerome look like this. A junior outside hitter, number 2, is Colette Logus. A senior right side, number 5, is Jaden Jerome. A junior middle back, number 7, is Bethany Warren. A senior outside hitter, number 11, is Jalen Hovinga. The junior center is number 14, Riley Miller. And the junior middle back is number 15, Brennan Geeson. For Forest City, again, Lacey Jerome, the head coach, Janelle Cook, and Tammy Lambert, the assistant coaches for Forest City. National anthem. Following the national anthem, we are set for the tip-off of the 2023 volleyball season. We'll have it for you. First serve is next here.
Custom Paint and Collision of Forest City. Corey and his staff have nearly 50 years of body shop experience and can fix just about anything on the road. They give free estimates and also carry car batteries and windshield wipers. Located on Highway 69 just south of Forest City, it's Custom Paint and Collision, your body shop.
Forest City Ford at the corner of 9 and 69 in Forest City wishes good luck to our local athletes. We look forward to seeing you compete. When you need a vehicle, see us at Forest City Ford, where customers really do send their friends.
Grow Electric in Lake Mills is proud to support area athletics and proud to serve our new and returning customers. To get started on any electrical project, big or small, call 641-592-8282. Good luck, athletes, from Grow Electric in Lake Mills.
Everyone else is doing it. Call me, Matt, Chuck, or Jake at County Line Seeds in Forest City for a great lineup of DeKalb, Asgrow, MK, and now offering Wiffles hybrid products. 641-581-3300.
The 3M Distribution Center of Forest City. The team at 3M wishes our area athletes good luck and good health this season. Like any good team, working together brings out great results on the field or in the warehouse. The 3M Distribution Center of Forest City.
NIAC is proud to help support North Iowa athletes. Working hard and being part of a team is a great way to learn lessons for life. And learning is what NIAC is all about, beginning with high school juniors and seniors who can start building college credits now for free. Learn more at niac.edu.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Forest City and Eagle Grove getting set for the start of the 2023 volleyball season. The Indians will wear their gray jerseys this evening. Forest City will be on the left side of your screen, left side of your radio dial if you're with us on the radio this evening. Gray jerseys, gray numbers on front and back. Those gray numbers are outlined in white, and it's a light gray on the dark gray jersey. Same jerseys Forest City has wore for the last few years. They stay consistent with those ones. Indians across their back also in gray. Eagle Grove will be on the right side. They're in black tonight. Eagle Grove wearing black jerseys. Those black jerseys have gold numbers, gold Eagle Grove across their chest, or I guess it's black Eagle Grove across their chest, outlined in gold. Numbers are on front and back for Eagle Grove. They also have Eagles on their back. Eagle Grove mentioned a year ago, 21 points just about got that set from Forest City, set their tone early and came out swinging. Forest City with this experienced squad looking to start a memorable season right here this evening on their home floor. Look at that big crowd if you're watching with us. Huge crowd here in Forest City. They've been loud already tonight across the way. They're ready to watch Forest City Indian volleyball. You can hear the Go Big Red in the background. Our officials this evening, the R1 is Mr. Dave Minders, and the R2 is Mr. Brian Rodemeyer. Colette Logus has the ball in her hand, left to right over the net. We are underway with the 2023 volleyball season. It's going to start with a point for Forest City as Eagle Grove unable to return that serve. And the Indians have an early lead, 1-0. Colette Logus serving for Forest City. Again, we'll go left to right across the screen. Taken by Jeske originally. Figueroa up front to Gardner, and that one's into the net. Forest City will get their second point of the first set. Just underway here. Colette Logus serving from the Indians will serve from left to right. Logus over the net, taken by Jeske. Thacker. Jeske will strike over the net for Forest City. First time we'll see the Indians offense. Jalen Hovinga winds up, and she's got the first kill of the 2023 season. As Jalen Hovinga winds up from the left side for Forest City. Indians offense hadn't had a chance before then. Colette Logus will continue to serve left to right. She wears number 2, and that time it's into the net. And Eagle Grove will score for the first time. It's 3-1 Indians here in the first set. Eagle Grove, they'll serve first with Figueroa. Celeste Figueroa, she's a senior, wears number 4. She takes about 3 steps up to the line, right to left over the net. It's an ace serve off the hands of Anderson in the back row. Unable to retrieve it. It's going to be an ace serve for Eagle Grove. And the Eagles, just like that, are right back to within 1 here on Forest City. It's 3-2. Set number 1. Figueroa once again, right to left over the net, taken by Anderson. Now Riley Miller will pass to Hovinga, tried to get it to Hovinga. It was like on top of the net, like even with the net. Hovinga got up and was able to just push it over. It was a free ball. Who can get to it first? And it was Hovinga who's able to jump high enough to get it back down on the Eagle Grove side. It'll be a point for Forest City. Probably will also go down as a kill for Hovinga, and the Indians now lead 4-2. Anderson serving. It was taken by Jeske originally, now over the net by the Indians. Hovinga, big strike dug out of the back row. Here's Hovinga. Riley Miller will just dump it. Figueroa will set for Eagle Grove. Here's Jeske with strike from the left side, and it is off of Forest City. So they're going to say there's a touch on the Indians. Point for Eagle Grove, and it's 4-3. Once again, we'll see a serve for Eagle Grove. It is going to be Jeske in the serving rotation now. Anderson receives. Riley Miller will set. Hovinga sends it over. Taken by Eagle Grove. We've got a point for Forest City. They're going to call a double hit on Eagle Grove. That one received by Gonzalez, wearing 27 tonight, listed as number 2, but she's wearing 27. And that's going to be into the net. Figueroa passed it over to Thacker. Thacker just couldn't quite get enough on it and sends it into the net. And the Indians will serve now with Riley Miller from left to right. Jeske, and that's down. Going to be an ace serve for Riley Miller as Middleton was unable to get to it. Now 7-3 Forest City. And we'll see a serve from Riley Miller. And another ace serve as Jeske takes it off her side and straight into the Eagle Grove bench. 8-3. Forest City now in the lead here in set number 1. Riley Miller will serve once again for the Indians from left to right. Taken by Jeske. Figueroa. And it looked like it was going to be Middleton, but it's actually Thacker who's just going to free ball it to the Indians side. Indians will wind up with Hovinga. That's into the ceiling, but on the Eagle Grove side, they can still play it. Taken over by the Indians now. Here's Hovinga, winds up, blocked to the net by Thacker. Back to the Forest City side. Jerome tries to go over. I think it's going to be, they're going to in the net on Eagle Grove. Thought maybe that wasn't actually hit there, and it was going to be a 4 on Forest City, but instead they're going to say that Eagle Grove was in the net, so it's going to be a point for the Indians. Now 9-3, Forest City leads by 6, their largest lead of this set. And Riley Miller will serve once again. On the near side, Middleton, Thacker, free ball to the Forest City side. In the middle, Geeson will swing and send it to the Eagle Grove side. Middleton now free ball to the Forest City side. Logus receives. Here's Hovinga on a pass from Riley Miller. Taken by Gonzalez, and whistle, point Forest City lift against the Eagles. 10-3 now, Forest City by 7. Here in set number 1 of the first match of the season. Indians know that there's not very many conference games. They got to make the most of them. Middleton. Riley Miller will receive for Forest City. Here's Jaden Jerome trying to find a kill for the Indians. Figueroa now. In the middle, we've got a whistle, point Forest City lift. It's going to be called against Eagle Grove. And they're going to get that on Natalie Peterson, the junior. She's the one that commits the lift, so Forest City now leads 11-3. Riley Miller sends it over. Taken by Thacker. Here's Figueroa. Middleton sends it long. Great job there by Colette Logus. She watched it all the way to the line. Made sure it went deep and out, and Forest City will get the point, 12-3. Riley Miller will serve again for the Indians. She'll take about 3 steps at the line, sends it over. Taken by Jeske. Here's Figueroa, now Thacker. Free ball to the Forest City side, received by Riley Miller. Anderson. Hovinga swings. Figueroa takes. Jeske, free ball to the Forest City side. Riley Miller. Hovinga winds up, and that is going to be a point for Forest City. They're going to say in the net, so no kill there for Hovinga. As they're going to get Eagle Grove in the net. Not sure I saw the number of who they got. Here's Riley Miller. She'll send it over for the Indians. Taken by Thacker. Now Figueroa. Middleton, can she get it? No, they're going to say we went behind the, or did it hit the? Yeah, it went behind. Okay. It was a really tough angle. Middleton, I thought, made a really good play to get it over. But it is going to be behind. Timeout, Eagle Grove, Forest City. Oh, no, pardon me, just a substitution. I thought that they were calling timeout as Coach Nagala had got up and walked towards the official. Instead, just a substitution here for Eagle Grove as Middleton will leave. Figueroa will pass. Fresh into the game. That was Schild. Here's Anderson. In the middle, Geeson. And point Forest City, as they're going to say Eagle Grove was in the net. So now 15-3, Forest City leads. And we'll have another substitution as Eagle Grove will send Peterson to the bench. Nadia Kaiser, talked about Kaiser, multi-sport athlete for Eagle Grove. She's in now for the Eagles. Riley Miller will softly send it over right back to Geeson, and Geeson sends it straight to the floor. That one came right back to Brennan, and she was able to find the floor with it. And Forest City now leads 16-3. Here's Figueroa. Thacker sends it over. Taken by Anderson. Good defensive play there. Pass to Hovinga. Hovinga will swing. Taken by Jeske. Figueroa will set. Over by Eagle Grove. Schild. Back to the Eagle Grove side. Schild sends it over. Taken by the Indians. Logus in the middle. Geeson. Can she have another? She can. Brenna Geeson finds a kill now for the Indians. Back-to-back points picked up for Forest City by Brenna Geeson. And the Indians now lead 17-3. Riley Miller will send it over. Taken by Thacker. And a little miscommunication there by Eagle Grove, as now there will be a timeout, as both Figueroa and Schild came after it. Figueroa was the one that got her hands on it but knocked it out. 30-second timeout. Forest City will come back. 18-3 Indians. Forest City High School volleyball on KIOW.
For the best selection in new and used vehicles in North Iowa, think Pritchard's Family Auto Stores. In Forest City, stop by Pritchard's Forest City Auto Center on the north side next to Quick Star, or Chrysler of Forest City on the south side. They offer services only Pritchard's can provide.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Eagle Grove on the right side of your net this evening. Right side of your radio dial. Forest City on the left side. Indians lead set number 1, 18-3. First night out for the Forest City volleyball team. Ranked number 13 in Class 3A. Looking good. Crowd, big crowd on hand. Student section trying to get into it. And student section pretty deep tonight. They go all the way from the front row. There's only about one or maybe two rows at the top not covered with students, and that is going to be sent long on the serve. Eagle Grove will get a point out of the timeout as the serve is sent long. Ball went all the way out of the gym. Well, Kovacs, the libero, she's in to serve here for Eagle Grove. First time we've seen the Eagle Grove libero. She's wearing a gold jersey. The Indians libero, Emma Anderson, will take. Passed over to Hovinga, but she sends it into the net. And it'll be a point for the Eagles. 18-5, back-to-back points for Eagle Grove as the Indians lead this one. Once again, Kovacs will serve for Eagle Grove. She'll take 2 steps, send it over. High fly taken by Anderson. Miller will set it up to Jaden Jerome, who's on the left side now, and that's going to get down for Forest City. So Jerome on the left side there for the Indians. She winds up. It's been a lot of Jalen Hovinga over there. Now Hovinga will go back to serve here for Forest City with a 19-5 lead of the Indians. And now there's a conversation at the scorers table. I'm not sure what that conversation is about. It looks like the officials were using their two-way communications. As I mentioned earlier in this match, if you're just joining us, officials this year in high school volleyball optional. They can have a communication device between each other, so you can see it in the ear of both of our officials. A little bit of a little headset, almost like it's like the same thing you see on like a major league umpire. Just that small little headset in the one ear. That way the officials can have a conversation of what they're seeing and not having to walk across the gym to have that conversation. And maybe those things aren't working right now as both officials have kind of pulled it out of their ear and they're kind of looking at it. But the conversation is ongoing between the scorers table and our R2. Forest City leads this one 19-5. If that score holds, could be a conversation of discussing the scoreboard. I had the same score, so not sure if that is what is being discussed. And now the Eagle Grove head coach, Elliot Saigala, he's joined the conversation. Lacey Jerome has not. She's having a conversation with her bench. But Coach Saigala has come over and started a conversation. And must have been a substitution issue with Eagle Grove because they're going to substitute back in. So that must have been what the conversation was about, as Nadia Kaiser will leave and Jocelyn Gonzalez will come back in. So whatever the conversation was, it must have been about a substitution as far as Eagle Grove goes, because after the conversation we see that substitution. All right, looks like we're back to volleyball. A little bit of a delay, but we're back to volleyball action as Hovinga will send it over, taken by the Eagles. And Figueroa unable to get it over the net. Thacker passed it. Figueroa tried to just free ball pass over the net, but unable to get all of it as she hits it into the net. And it will go to Forest City. Point will. 20-5 now is the Indians' lead. Indians 5 points away from this first set. Another substitution here for the Eagles. Hovinga sends it over for Forest City. Thacker trying to receive. They do. Eagle Grove back to Forest City. Here's a strike to let Logus, and she'll find a kill for the Indians. Now 21-5. Forest City 4 points away from taking this first set. As once again, Jalen Hovinga will serve left to right for the Indians. One of those 5 seniors we talked about on this team. She's been playing since she was a freshman. Actually, the most veteran player on this team is Jalen Hovinga. She's played the most in the last 4 years out of anybody on this team. 93rd match of her career today. Here's Logus. She'll send it over. Kovac safe for Eagle Grove. And Jeske will find a kill as she just sends it to the back row. And miscommunication by Forest City as that one's going to fall down in the back row of who was getting after it. Jeske just kind of free-balled it to that back row. Sometimes he doesn't take the powerful hit. It just takes a little finesse in finding an opening. That's what Jeske does. And Eagle Grove now got it 21-6. Forest City in the lead. Colette Logus will receive. No, it's going to be an ace serve. As that one was dug out by Logus straight into the antenna. And Eagle Grove will serve once again 21-7 Indians. Hovinga kind of took awkwardly in there. I think they're going to call her for a lift. They do. A little bit of a delayed there, but Hovinga is going to get called for a lift. 21-8 is the lead for the Indians. Colette Logus will receive now. Riley Miller. Here's Jerome. She'll strike and kill as that one goes down the line. 22-8 now, the lead for Forest City. Brooklyn Kraft is in for the first time tonight. Geeson and Anderson out for Forest City. As we will see a serve coming from Jerome. Taken by Jeske. Over. Here are the Indians. Riley Miller. Jerome. Here's Kovacs. Thacker. Child sends it over. It's going to be a touch on Forest City. And the point will go to the Eagles. 22-9. This was a little bit of a run here by Eagle Grove as Child will come out. And Crystal Flores Baez, sophomore, she'll come in to serve. So here's Flores Baez, taken by Hovinga, over by Logus. Flores Baez, Jeske will just free ball to the back corner again, and it's in. Another one, kind of the similar situation where Jeske just kind of sends it to that back row. Nobody there for Forest City. Another point for the Eagles, and it's now 22-10. Eagle Grove making a little bit of a run here. Now as Forest City out of rotation, as now the Indians are trying to make sure they're in the right rotation. As Kraft, Hovinga, and Riley Miller are in the back row. Jerome, Logus, and Bethany Warren are in the front row. And the Indians are trying to make sure they're in the right rotation. As now a conversation once again is our R2 once again has gone to the scorer's table, received his book, and now he's talking with Coach Jerome. Anderson's going to come in, so maybe the Indians now were out of rotation as it looks like Brooklyn Kraft. Now Kraft is coming out. So Brooklyn Kraft will come out. Geeson will trade with Anderson. So Geeson had to come in to get Kraft out, which then brings Emma Anderson back in as libero in the back row for Forest City. Flores Baez will serve after the delay. Riley Miller will set. Colette Logus will send it over. And it'll be a point and a kill for Forest City. 23-10. Indians still just 2 points away from a victory here in set number one. trying to find that first set win. And it's over. Down by Bethany Warren. Bethany Warren able to find it as that one came over on a free ball. And Bethany Warren straight back down to the floor. 24-10. Over. Bethany Warren once again down for the Indians. Back-to-back blocks for Bethany Warren, and Forest City will win set number 1, 25-10, the final. Just like that, Forest City battles back. They find a couple of set wins, or find a couple of point wins, I should say, and win set number 1, 25-10. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More from Forest City High School is next.
Are you new to investing and not sure where to begin? Start by looking for a financial advisor who will offer you a strategy personalized for you and your family. One who will be there as your life and financial situation changes. Patrick will use an established process to create a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. He will focus on what's important to you and partner together to help your strategy stay on track. Contact Patrick and his team today at 641-582-2248. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Ready to sell your home? First Choice Realty is here for you. There are more homes needed to meet the demand of our pre-qualified buyers. Contact Bethany Ferris, Mary Ferris, Barb Rockow, or Teresa Combs at 641-585-2404. First Choice Realty of Forest City.
MBT Bank, with 10 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. A full-service community bank with checking and savings accounts, CDs, lending, and trust services. Where will you go with MBT? MBTBank.bank, member FDIC.
NSB Bank wishes the Indians good luck. For the past 90 years, NSB Bank has provided the latest financial products and services with a community touch by local decision makers. Stop into your NSB branch location in Titanca, Forest City, Thompson, Mason City, or Northwood. NSB Bank, we're here for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Zara Negastal with you here from Forest City High School as we open the 2023 volleyball season. I was talking with somebody earlier today. It seems like the baseball and softball season just ended a couple of days ago. Yeah, it was about a month ago, a little over a month ago. But man, oh man, just like that, we're right back into the thick of things here. New year, going to see some new cast and characters of Forest City High School this year. Some athletes we saw last year playing limited roles, now into big roles. Some new athletes that are fresh into high school, first couple of days of their high school careers, going to make an impact this year throughout multiple different sports here for Forest City. We're already seeing that right now, and some players that had some roles last year, but maybe some limited roles and are now in a little bit bigger roles. See a lot more Riley Miller so far. She played in 22 sets last year, or 22 matches last year, 45 sets a year ago. She is right in the thick of things as the setter for the Indians. Brenna Geeson also played in just 26 sets a year ago as a sophomore, now as a junior. Really in the thick of things, getting the start here this evening. And we mentioned all those seniors as well on this team, so just like that, we are set for volleyball action here in set number 2. As the Indians win set number 1, 25-10. And it will be Eagle Grove who will serve first here in set number 2. We mentioned good crowd on hand. Probably hear the student section really getting into things this evening. Forest City crowd across the way. Down below, the Eagle Grove crowd, good traveling squad as well. You've seen the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. The gray shirt there, that's first-year head coach Elliot Saigala and his Eagle Grove Eagles. A lot of energy of this Eagle Grove team that I've seen so far this year. They had a lot of energy in their warm-ups, kind of pumping each other up a little bit, trying to get things going. And Coach Saigala looking to get this program going here for Eagle Grove. That's the mentioned. Take a look back at that All-time series. Some updated things now. Forest City wins their 28th straight set against Eagle Grove since 2014. Again, these two teams played every year since 2014. Now into 2023. Eagle Grove scores 10 in the first set this year, scored 21 in the first set a year ago. Indians looking for their 10th straight win since these two teams became conference foes just about a decade ago now. Crazy to think about the top of Iowa Conference is almost 10 years old. 2015, 2016, the first year of the TIC. Eagle Grove playing in the NIC in 14 and 15. All right, here we go. Volleyball action. Eagle Grove will serve, taken by the Indians. Jenna Walker's in now to set for Forest City, and she sets it right to Bethany Warren, who gets the Indians started. Bethany Warren. Look at that. Couple of blocks and points for the Indians to end set number one. Comes back, finds a huge kill to start off set number two, and the Indians now lead 1-0 here in set number two. Colette Logus will serve. Taken by Eagle Grove. In the middle and sent long. Was there a touch? There was not. 2-0 Forest City. Natalie Peterson sending that one long for the Eagles. Colette Logus will serve for the Indians, taken there by Middleton. It's set in the middle by Figueroa. A free ball from Thacker for the Indians. Jenna Walker will set to Bethany Warren. That's into the net back. It's going to be 4 hits on Forest City. As Warren got that one into the net and got back, was not blocked. So 4 hits on the Indians, now 2-1. Forest City still leads. Have led throughout so far. As we'll see a serve coming, Jeske, taken by the Indians. Set up Bethany Warren. Right down as Jenna Walker sets it up to Bethany Warren. Again, the Indians a little bit of a different combination here in set number two. That's what you're going to see in the early going in. Again, if you listen to my story or read my story at KIOW.com, you really hear Jalen talk about that. As Jeske, Figueroa, here's Middleton for Eagle Grove, taken by Colette Logus. Jenna Walker, Jalen Hovinga over. Gonzalez, here's Middleton. Jenna Walker just will dump it. Can Eagle Grove keep it? They can for a second. Back to Geeson. Geeson over. It is touched by Eagle Grove and out. And Forest City will find the point. Now 4-1. But, yeah, talk to Jalen a little bit, and that's what she said. She said, hey, we can go different combinations of people, right? Jalen and Jaden can set. Jenna can set. We've seen Riley Miller set that entire first set for the Indians. There's an ace serve for Emma Anderson now. As she picks up one for Forest City. Emma had 15 ace serves a year ago for the Indians as a junior. Picks up one here this year. Middleton pushes it over. Anderson. Jenna Walker trying to keep it alive. I think they're going to get her for a double. They do. So Jenna Walker called for a double. 5-2. Forest City leads here in set number two. Eagle Grove will send Nadia Kaiser back in. Jerome sent by Walker. Here's Jalen Hovinga, sends it down, and that's going to be a kill for Jalen Hovinga. Now 6-2, Indians in the lead. And again, another conversation now between the official and the Eagle Grove bench. We have had a ton of conversations tonight as far as substitutions. First night out, right? Everybody's trying to get right back in the thick of things. Jenna Walker. And as that one's going to fall down now 7-2. Forest City back in the lead. Jenna Walker trying to find the service as that'll go out. Ooh, got the camera. Eagle Grove's got their filming camera in the corner back there, and Jenna Walker's serve gets the camera, but it goes out. And Eagle Grove will serve. 7-3 is the lead in favor of the Indians. Thacker will send it deep. And it'll go back to Forest City Point Indians 8-3. Jalen Hovinga will serve for Forest City from left to right. Jalen serve. Taken by Eagle Grove. Thacker trying to keep it alive. They do. Middleton does a great job. Free ball to the Indians. Walker will set, and it is killed by Jaden Jerome. Good set, good spike. The senior punch there of Jenna Walker and Jaden Jerome, and they find a point now 9-3. Jalen Hovinga once again will serve here for the Indians. Hovinga sends it over, taken by Kovac. That one's going to be sent long by the Eagles. Now 10-3. And Jalen Hovinga will once again serve for the Indians. 10-3 Forest City. They lead here opening night of high school volleyball on KIOW. Thanks for being with us. Eagle Grove will receive Thacker. Figueroa sends it over. Here's Anderson now. Walker will set. Colette Logus looking for a kill. Sends it long. No touch, and the point will go to the Eagles. She's wearing 36. No, she is wearing 35. Excuse me. Really, Marla, ninth grader. She's in here for Eagle Grove. Seeing some of her, actually is seeing her first career varsity, they played the other night, first career conference varsity action. There we go. Jaden Jerome will try to send it over for the Indians, but sends it into the net, so it'll be a point for the Eagles, 10-5. Eagle Grove back to within 5. Here in set number 2, the Indians took set 125-10. Back in for Eagle Grove is Jeske in the front row. Logus, Walker from the back row. Anderson free balls to Eagle Grove. Thacker will set. In the middle, Child sends it long, no touch. It is a point for the Indians, 11-5. Waldorf volleyball team is here this evening. They got a couple of big wins to start off their season. They're up in the stands this evening. See a few of them looking on, of course. Emma Hovinga, the center of that team. Sister Jalen Hovinga does it all here on the team for the Indians. Bethany Warren's going to send it up to Logus. Logus over. Figueroa now for Eagle Grove. Back row. Collision between Jenna Walker and Brooklyn Kraft. They keep it alive, though, and it's back to Eagle Grove. Great job by the Indians to keep that one up. And Jeske swings right into the net, and Forest City will find the point. That was big there. Jenna Walker and Brooklyn Kraft, they collided, but they were able to keep it up. I'm not sure which one actually got a hold of it. Kept that one up, and the Indians end up scoring out of it, 12-5. Figueroa, Thacker, Jeske will swing. Here's Jenna Walker, will keep it alive. Colette Logus just has to free ball. And we've got a whistle, point Forest City, and it's going to be a double hit against Eagle Grove. 13-5 is the lead here for Forest City in set number 2. Thacker. Figueroa sends it over. Hovinga. Colette Logus free ball. Kovacs from the back row. That's a libero, and then now another collision, this time on the Eagle Grove side, as Thacker will collide with Child. And it's going to be a Forest City point as they were unable to keep that one up on the collision, 14-5. Thacker will set. Jeske will attack. Taken by the Indians. Good ups by Colette Logus there. Jerome. Thacker will set. Child in the middle. Blocked by Bethany Warren and Colette Logus. Little tandem block there between those two. And the Indians will find the point, 15-5. 52 blocks a year ago, a team high for Bethany Warren. Thacker. Child. Point Indians. It is going to be a double on Eagle Grove. 16-5 Forest City starting to separate themselves here in set number 2. This was close for the first about 15 combined points, as it was 10-5 at one point. Now it's 16-5. 6 straight for the Indians. That'll end now as Brooklyn Kraft sends it into the net to make it 16-6. Geeson will come in long enough for Anderson to go to the back row. So Anderson in for Geeson's part of the rotation in the back to play defense for Forest City. 16-6. Service coming here for the Eagles. Schild sent it over. We've got a whistle. Point for the Indians as she went across the back line. (17-6) Forest City. As the Indians lead this one. And we'll see a serve in a moment here for Jaden Jerome. We've got another conversation at the scorer's table. Things have just not been (100% with that stuff tonight. A lot of substitution things. No fault of anybody. Of course, it's just that first night out. Had conversations on both sides, scorer's table, both officials. We'll see a serve coming for Jerome, taken by Jeske. She will send it long, and it will go to Forest City. Jeske got some good power on that one, but just could not quite sneak it in the line. And the point to the Indians, 18-6. Forest City looking for a 2-0 lead. Thacker. Jeske from the middle. Jenna Walker. Anderson from the back row. Jalen Hovinga will strike off of Eagle Grove, off the back wall. That's an Indian point, 19-6. Big strike from the back row for Jalen Hovinga. As she does that, and turns around and cheers on her teammates. As Jaden Jerome going to serve here. Overpass on the serve taken by the Indians. They're going to set it up for a chance. Colette Logus, yes. Just a little finesse over the net. Colette Logus lands it in. And the Indians now lead 20-6. Jaden Jerome will go back here for Forest City once again to serve. 20-6, Indians lead. Again, this was a 10-5 game. Indians have gone on a 10-1 run. Jeske sends it long. And it's now, they're going to say there was a touch. So Jeske sent it long, but there was a touch on the Indians. So point will go to Eagle Grove, now 20-7. And Eagle Grove will serve with Figueroa. She'll send it over. Bethany Warren. Walker. Everybody was kind of a little out of place there, so Walker just dumped it as a setter. That comes back. That's in. As Jeske hammers that one in the back row. And it gets down for a kill, and it's now 20-8. Big kill there for Jeske in the back row. As she's able to find a point for the Eagles. Make it 20-8 now. Hovinga. Anderson. Colette Logus will send it over. Figueroa will set. Here's Jeske. This time she sends it into the net. And the point will go to the Indians, 21-8. Set number 2, 21-8. Forest City leads. Indians one set, 125-10. Colette Logus will serve from the middle of the left side, left to right over the net. Figueroa. Free ball now to the Indians. Walker sets it up to Hovinga, and they're going to say that Walker got a double. Jalen was able to get a good strike on it, but they're going to call a double first, and it's now 21-9. As we'll see a serve coming. Jeske now serving for the Eagles. First, we'll have a substitution as Middleton comes in. Flores Baez out for Eagle Grove. Anderson, Walker. Hovinga this time sends it straight to the floor. Point for the Indians, 22-9. Geeson back in to play in the front row for Forest City. We'll have a substitution on the right side for Eagle Grove as they'll bring their freshman back in. Marla, she'll play the back. Jeske goes out. Right to Marla, she takes it. Now Gonzalez over by Thacker, taken by Colette Logus. Jenna Walker from the left side. Hovinga sends it down and in. I think Hovinga thought that one was going long. She kind of had a little sigh of relief after that one landed in. 23-10 now the lead. Anderson will serve. Figueroa sends it over. Anderson for the Indians. Set up by Walker. Over by Geeson. Here's Middleton. And that's long, and the Indians now have set point here in set number 2. 24-10 is the lead for Forest City. The Indians will have set points. Leading right now 24-10. Things hold. It'll be the same score as set number 1. Walker sets it up. Here's Geeson over. Marla. Figueroa. Blocked by the Indians. And that'll do it. 25-10, the final in set number 2 as well, as the Indians will win the second set 25-10 after winning the first set 25-10. And the 13th ranked team in Class 3A, Forest City, is one set away from a sweep of the Eagle Grove Eagles on night number 1 of conference play. Our third set today brought to you by our good friends at Waldorf University. We just talked about the Waldorf volleyball team. They're across the way watching tonight. And just as they say, Waldorf supports our local athletes and looks forward to helping them further their educations and careers. Find out how to become a Warrior today at waldorf.edu. That's waldorf.edu to learn how to become a Warrior today. Waldorf University is a sponsor of today's third set. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Brought to you by Waldorf University.
Waldorf University in Forest City. With scholarships available up to full tuition, athletics, fine arts, and over 35 clubs and organizations, you'll have the opportunity to find your passion while getting a world-class education. On campus or online, find support from a community that makes you feel at home. Find out more today at waldorf.edu.
MBT Investments of Forest City. Whether it's servicing your 401k, saving for your child's education, or investing for the future. See Matt Jennings or Troy Hall at MBT Investments. Call 585-IRAs. MBT Investments, your partner for your financial journey. Securities and advisory services are offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor and broker-dealer member FINRA/SIPC. Insurance products are offered through LPL or its licensed affiliates. Securities and insurance offered through LPL or its affiliates are not insured by FDIC or any government agency, not bank guaranteed, not bank deposits or obligations may lose value.
Forest City Auto is your local Napa Auto Care Center. Our local staff will work to get your vehicle back on the road. With state-of-the-art equipment, a 2-year parts and labor warranty on all repairs, and free pickup and delivery in Forest City, Forest City Auto is the place to take your vehicle. Call 641-581-3000 today.
Malin Egg Service of Forest City is a proud supporter of Forest City High School athletics. Nate Malin is with you from the word go. From planting to harvest, you can count on Nate. Contact him today in Forest City at 641-860-1712. Nate will help you put the right seed on your acres. 641-860-1712.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Zarin Egestal with you, high above the Forest City High School Gymnasium. Night number 1 of the high school volleyball season for the Forest City Indians. And the Indians lead the Eagles of Eagle Grove 25-10, 25-10, 2 sets to 0 so far here through these first 2. Again, the Indians looking for a 10th straight 3-0 sweep of Eagle Grove, trying to get themselves on top. It's not just Eagle Grove. The Indians have been dominating and sweeping and winning matches against everybody except for those back and forth contests with Lake Mills in conference play. And the Indians know, right? We talk about it every year. It's almost like it's almost so repetitive that everybody at home knows it. That the last we talked about it. 15-16 is when this conference started. Since then, it's been Forest City and Lake Mills that have battled for conference titles. Both teams usually come in at 7-0, and the winner takes all. And again, going to have some tough roads this year, some pretty good teams in the conference. It's not going to be easy night in and night out, and Forest City has seen that tonight. It has not been easy throughout this entire match. There's been times where Forest City has kind of, found themselves to win some good points, but it really just has not been easy at certain times tonight. And that's what it's going to be like all year in the TIC. And again, that was another thing that Coach Jerome said as we are underway here from Forest City with the Indians serving Eagle Grove Tooken, and a lift is going to be called against the Eagles. And both coaches, that's the other thing that these girls are so lucky to have. Both of these coaches, Lacey Jerome and Coach Saigala in his first year, just always coaching. Both of these two coaches, Hayden Brown is in for Forest City. Haven't seen her. She's in her first action this year for the Indians, wearing number 1 this season for Forest City. Coach Saigala, you see him on the bench there a moment ago. He was sitting on the bench there. Continuing to coach, going over fundamentals. Coach Jerome doing the same. We're early in the season. Not actively from the bench right now, but between sets, as that one will be a point for Forest City. Now 2-1. Between sets, Coach Jerome had a couple of her players and shown them a couple of things. These coaches always coaching. Here's Hovinga, send it over. That's going to be a point for the Indians, now 3-1. Geeson will come in as Bethany Warren will head back to the Forest City bench. Anderson will serve. Middleton. Eagle Grove take there. Sent over, and Hovinga will send it a bit long. It'll be 3-2 in favor of Forest City, but Eagle Grove will be serving. Chloe Stile, the senior. Jump serve comes, and that one's a rocket. And the Indians can't find it out of the ceiling. Chloe Stile, haven't seen her all game. She comes in with a rocket of a jump serve. And that one was off of the Indians into the ceiling. Forest City tried to play it out of the ceiling, but Indians could just not find it once it came through the ceiling. And we're going to see that rocket of a jump serve once again here from Stile. She sends it over. A little bit less power this time, more finesse, as Hovinga will send it over. Figueroa. And that's going to be a touch on Forest City. And out, so a point for the Eagles, and it's now 4-3 for the first time tonight. Eagle Grove leads a set as they're leading 4-3. Indians have led throughout. Here's the Indians now. Hovinga will attack. Back to the Eagle Grove side. Free ball to the Forest City side. Jerome. Brown. Blocked by Eagle Grove. Jerome will just free ball. That's Stile. Middleton. Jerome. Anderson for Forest City. Here's Hovinga over. Stile. Figueroa. Middleton in the bench. Able to keep it alive. Forest City now. Geeson in the middle. And that's going to be a kill for Brenna Geeson. Great job by Teresa Middleton. She had to go nearly into the Eagle Grove bench to keep that one alive. Did so and kept it in play. Sometimes you'll see a girl get a hand on that one, but won't be able to keep it in play. She does. Stile. Figueroa. Anderson. Riley Miller is back into set here for Forest City. Point, they're going to call 4 on the Indians. So 4 called against Forest City. As Eagle Grove will continue to lead here in set number 3. Indians took the first 2 sets. Geeson will find a kill. Both the first 2 sets went to Forest City, 25-10. As Hovinga will serve. Middleton. Child sends it over. Taken by Forest City. Anderson keeps it alive. Great save there by Anderson. Now an overpass back to Jerome, and she sends it straight back down to the floor. Indians back in the lead, 6-5. Just like that, Forest City has roared back to take the lead, 6-5. And we'll see a serve coming here for Hovinga. Left to right, she'll send it over. Style, unable to keep it alive. No return from Eagle Grove. As the Indians will score again at 7-5 now, Forest City. Indians going to try to rattle on off here. As Hovinga will send it over. Style, Kovacs. Style sends it long. And it will go to Eagle Grove. Or excuse me, go to Forest City. As Eagle Grove sends that one long. 8-5. Substitution coming for the Eagles. Breely Marla is back in. And Jalen Hovinga will serve. A serve for Jalen Hovinga. And she picks one up there. Hovinga had 43 ace serves, a 94% server a year ago. Just absolutely automatic for Forest City. Her and Jaden Jerome. Jerome was 95% serving efficiency. Back-to-back ace serves as Jalen Hovinga will find two. And we're going to call that our tasty plays of the game. Brought to you by A&W Family Restaurants of Forest City. Thacker of the Eagles. Riley Miller dives for it. Unable to get up to it. It's now 13-7 Forest City. They lead this one by 6. Thacker will serve. Lexi Eisebrand in for the first time this evening. Now there's a ball that's going to go into the bench of Eagle Grove. Point for Forest City. So we've seen quite a few of those characters from a year ago. Seen a little Hayden Brown tonight. Brenna Geeson, Riley Miller. got the start tonight. Brooklyn Kraft, Jalen Hovinga, Emma Anderson, Bethany Warren all in. Jenna Walker has seen some action. Jaden Jerome, Lexi Eisenbrand, Colette Logus. All returners for Forest City have all seen action for the Indians so far tonight. Back row, Walker. Eisenbrand sends it over. Thacker will set. Here's Middleton. Sends it long, point to the Indians. It's now 15-7, Forest City in the lead. Jenna Walker will serve for Forest City. Sends it over, taken. This is the libero Kovacs. The Indian side, Bethany Warren slams one down, make it 16-7. In favor of Forest City as the Indians are trying to find the sweep tonight. Have already won the first two sets, 25-10, 25-10. Over the net. Middleton keeps it alive. Here's Thacker, got to go over. She does. Jerome for the Indians. Riley Miller sets it up. And Lexi Eisenbrand not able to get enough of it as she sends that one into the net. And it'll be a point for Eagle Grove. 16-8, Forest City on top by a double score here. 16-8 is the lead for the Indians in set number 3. And we'll see a serve coming for Eagle Grove. Jerome, Riley Miller, Eisenbrand sends it over. Back the other way, here comes Forest City. Riley Miller sets it up. Jaden Jerome over and in. Jaden Jerome finds a nice kill for the Indians from the right side. 17-8 is the Indians' lead. Oh, we got two volleyballs in play now. As one went out, they grabbed another one from the scorer's table as somebody went to chase the one down, went out in the hallway. That one got rolled back in play as Jaden Jerome had the new one back ready to serve. We just about had two volleyballs in play. In the air, Bethany Warren. Goodness gracious. Bethany Warren sends that one straight to the floor with some might. And it's now 18-8. When she winds up and gets behind the volleyball, it's game over. Bethany Warren sends it up. Hayden Brown over. Bethany Warren keeps it alive on a block by Eagle Grove. Here's Lexi Eisenbrand. Can Eagle Grove keep this one alive? It's nearly in the ceiling. Style does. Long. Over by Stiles. Bethany Warren again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Bethany Warren. Another powerful strike to the floor. 19-8, Forest City in the lead. Jaden Jerome sends this one over. Collision, miscommunication. Style keeps it alive. Back to Jerome. Here comes Eisenbrand for the Indians. Thacker, Schild sends it long. Point Forest City. 20-8. Indians 5 points away from the sweep. As Jaden Jerome will serve from left to right. Style just has to push that one over. Jerome. Oh, miscommunication. They keep it alive, though. Bethany Warren, Hayden Brown, neither of them knew who was going to take it as it turns into a Forest City point. Miscommunication between Brown and Bethany Warren as they didn't know who was going to take it. Finally, somebody just got maybe a fingernail or two on it, enough to get it over the nets. And Eagle Grove mishandles it, so it turns into a Forest City point. Call it 21-8 Indians. Jaden Jerome sends it over now. Style trying to keep it alive. And it goes out. And it'll be a point for Forest City, 22-8. Indians 3 points away from a sweep and an opening win here on night number 1. Jaden Jerome will serve left to right here for Forest City. Jerome's serve. Taken by Schild. They're not going to get it over. It comes up short, 23-8 now. Forest City 2 points away from a victory here in set number 3. And taking this 3-0. Over by Jerome, taken by Eagle Grove. Thacker, here's Style. And unable to keep it up is Forest City. It'll be a touch off the Indians and a point for Eagle Grove, 23-9. And serving will be Gonzalez for Eagle Grove. Jocelyn Gonzalez sends it over, taken by Anderson. Here's Jerome. Eisenbrand with a strike. Style keeps it alive for Eagle Grove. Now Jerome will set. Bethany Warren with a big strike. That one's dug out of the back row. Gonzalez, a great dig. Now a good up there by Hayden Brown. And it's just pushed over by Bethany Warren, and it falls in to a thunderous cheer from the Indian fans. Hayden Brown did a good job of keeping it up. Bethany Warren able to get it over and in for Forest City. 24-9 Indians. Set and match points as Lexi Eisenbrand will do the honors to serve. Left to right. Taken by the Eagles. Style. Over. Indians keep it alive. Can they finish it here? Warren. No. Eagle Grove keeps it up. Here's Style. Blocked. But down on the Forest City side, and we'll play another one. 24-10. Indians find next point. It'll be a 3 straight 25-10 victory. Eagle Grove got a long ways to go. They got to score 14 straight points to keep this match and set alive. It's sent over, taken by the Indians. Jerome in the middle. Bethany Warren tried to finish the job, but she got that one awkwardly off the side of her hand. Didn't get it over the net. It rolled up down the side of the net and stayed on the Forest City side. So it'll be a point for Eagle Grove. Make it 24-11. First time past 10 tonight, and that's it. It's going to be a service error on Figueroa. She sends it into the net, and Forest City will win by a final score of 25-11. It's a 3 straight set sweep for the Indians, 25-10, 25-10, 25-11. And the Indians are victorious on night number 1 and will take a 1-0 conference record into this weekend and next week. Eagle Grove will fall to 0-2. We'll come back. Our post-game show today brought to you by our good friends at County Line Seeds, located off the airport blacktop in Forest City. Not happy with what you saw on the fields last year? You out there looking right now, not seeing what you're liking? About a month away, or a little, actually, maybe less than a month away from harvest? Well, it means next year you got to give my guys Jake, Matt, or Chuck a call today at 641-581-3300, or visit them in the industrial park on the south side of Forest City. County Line Seeds, the sponsor of today's post-game show, and we'll have that post-game show for you here in just a couple of minutes.
Everyone else is doing it. Call me, Matt, Chuck, or Jake at County Line Seeds in Forest City for a great lineup of DeKalb, Asgrow, MK, and now offering Wiffles hybrid products. 641-581-3300.
A&W Restaurant in Forest City. A&W has delicious burgers, cheese curds, onion rings, chicken tenders, and more available daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Finish your meal with a tasty root beer float, shake, polar swirl, or soft serve ice cream. A&W, where the food is as good as the root beer. Highway 69 North in Forest City.
Forest City fans, whenever the Indians football team scores this fall, you score as well at your local Forest City Hy-Vee store. If the football team scores 7 points, you get 7 cents off per $7 you spend the Monday following a game. 24 points, 24 cents at your local Forest City Hy-Vee store.
Higher Spear Insurance strives to be your all-encompassing agency, protecting everything from your home and auto to your farm, crop, and health. And while the name on the door has changed, our commitment to serve our friends, families, and local communities has not. Find us in our 3 locations, Titonka, Forest City, and Thompson. Call 515-928-2085 or learn ways to protect your future at higherspearins.com.
After serving the Forest City community for over 50 years, Wilson Dental is now expanding to serve you better. We look forward to seeing you at our Forest City and our Garner location. Wilson Dental, where your smile is our reward.
Miller Pharmacy has complete prescription services. Free delivery in town, by mail, along with curbside pickup located at the Mercy One Clinic in Forest City. Miller Pharmacy is also open Saturday mornings and gladly accepts Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. Call ahead and your script refill will be ready for you. No need to wait. Miller Pharmacy of Forest City.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Our post-game show today brought to you by our good friends at County Line Seeds. Forest City picks up the victory tonight as the Indians find the 3-0 sweep over Eagle Grove, 25-10, 25-10, 25-11, the final in this one. And man, oh man, saw some really good things out of that Forest City lineup. And as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, Coach Jerome mentioned that going to see a lot of different lineup combinations for the Indians. Going to see a lot of different things, and Forest City definitely put that out there tonight. Kind of put a few different lineups together, different players with each other, different players playing different positions. We saw Jenna Walker out there setting. We saw Riley Miller out there setting for the Indians. At times when they needed to, Jalen and Jaden also can set for Forest City, and just a lot of different combinations there for the Indians. Everybody that saw action a year ago, back in action again for the Indians. About 12 different girls seen some action this evening, and it results in Forest City coming out on top by a final score of 3-0 and go to 1-0 on the season. Indians finished 20-12 a year ago, 7-1 in the TIC. They start TIC play with a 1-0 record this evening with a victory over the Eagle Grove Eagles. Eagle Grove will fall to 0-2 overall, and they are 0-1 in TIC conference play. A little bit of a different look Eagle Grove team than we saw. Some of their players not returning from last year's team. Got some young girls, saw some freshmen and sophomore, and some girls that have getting their first couple of games of varsity action underway there for Eagle Grove, and definitely will continue to grow throughout this season. So Eagle Grove, I think they saw a lot of good things. I think Coach Sagala will go back and look at the tape and see that, of course, Eagle Grove at times, I mean, they made a couple of big runs on Forest City. Indians had times where they looked like they were just going to walk away at certain points of the set, and Eagle Grove said not so fast. Jeske came back, had a couple of kills, a couple of good back row kills for Eagle Grove throughout this one. So good signs on both sides for both teams. That'll take us to our NBT Bank Player of the Game. NBT Bank, based in Forest City, brings you tonight's Player of the Game. NBT has 10 North Iowa and Southern Minnesota locations to serve you. Checkings, loans, savings, and more. NBT Bank is your bank. See them online at nbtbank.bank. We'll have that NBT Bank Player of the Game for you in 30 seconds.
NBT Bank, with 10 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. A full-service community bank with checking and savings accounts, CDs, lending, and trust services. Where will you go with NBT? NBTbank.bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back here on KIOW, our NBT Bank Player of the Game. Jalen Hovinga is going to be our NBT Bank Player of the Game. I think I saw a lot of different things. Saw a couple of aces back to back. Jalen Hovinga, we saw her as our A&W Tasty Play of the Game as well. Just some really good things we saw there from the NBT Bank Player of the Game. Jalen Hovinga, she was able to find a couple of big kills, was able to really fire some things around. So Jalen Hovinga, and from a leadership role as well, we saw that for Hovinga as she was out there and trying to direct her teammates and cheer them on. So that's why Jalen Hovinga is our NBT Bank Player of the Game this evening for Forest City. That's going to do it for our first broadcast of the year. We'll be back tomorrow night just behind the school, just behind where we are right now, as we will be in action. The Forest City football team will take on Clear Lake. Those two teams have been battling it out for many, many years. We'll have it for you tomorrow night here on KIOW. 51 last time, or since the series has been going on. These two teams have been playing every year since then. So a lot of action. We'll talk about all that. 6:15, new extended pregame show this year. So you'll have 45 minutes of pregame show action to get you ready for Forest City's kickoff of the 2023 football season. We'll have it for you 6:15 tomorrow night. 7 o'clock kickoff, all right here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Final here in volleyball once again. First set 25-10, second set 25-10, third set 25-11. Forest City victorious over the Eagle Grove Eagles this evening. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks to our good friend John Lentz back at the studio for all of your hard work. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. If you heard a sponsor in tonight's broadcast, go out, patronize those businesses, and tell them you appreciate their support of Forest City Indian High School athletics. Thanks so much to all of our great sponsors. They make it possible for us to be able to be here. We'll see you tomorrow night. Again, final 3-0 Forest City over Eagle Grove. Good night, everybody.